Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. I have a very interesting video for you, to say the least. To jump right into it, we start out with news from Coinbase. Coinbase has revamped its policy for listing new cryptocurrencies, replacing an ad hoc process with one the startup hopes will rapidly expand the range of assets traded on the exchange. Announced on Tuesday, the new system allows almost anyone to submit a cryptocurrency through an online form for evaluation under the company's digital asset framework. Those that meet the criteria may be listed, although not necessarily available right away to all Coinbase customers. That's because listings will be added on a jurisdiction-by-jurisdiction basis, rather than supporting all assets globally as Coinbase has done up until now. As a result, some coins won't be available for Coinbase customers to trade in places where local regulations either expressly forbid them or are unclear about their legality. It's not unlike Netflix streaming certain movies in one country, but not for copyright issues in another. Previously, there was no formal mechanism to request a listing, and some organizations would lobby Coinbase to support their assets. As such, the chain represents a welcome mat of sorts for crypto development teams from a company whose mainstream popularity potentially offers unparalleled exposure. They said, "We're now actively reaching out to asset developers with this." This was said by Coinbase CTO Balaji Srinivasan. He told this to Coinbase. He said, "Satoshi and Vitalik Buterin were not Coinbase customers, but all future and current asset creators and developers are. So it's like we're becoming a two-sided marketplace," end quote. In this marketplace, Coinbase will charge an application fee, of course, and an additional fee to list approved assets. Srinivasan would not say how much they would be, but said they wouldn't be prohibitive. We had information about this before, that not only was Coinbase charging fees, but Coinbase said that they wouldn't be charging fees. Same exact thing with Binance. And then we had news that every time that someone tried to get their coin onto Coinbase, this was months ago, would say, yeah, of course, you can definitely have it on. And they were charging people millions of dollars, even when they knew that certain teams didn't actually even have the money to afford being able to be listed. Sometimes if you say $500,000, what have you, your team should be able to have that money. But we had reports ranging that they were telling certain cryptocurrency groups that they had to pay them $10 million to somewhere upwards of $100 million if you really wanted your coin to be listed on Coinbase. Further, the application fee is only meant to deter spam, he said, and the listing fee will cover the cost of due diligence. He said, "We do not want to be a burden that deters people from listing new assets with us," end quote. In the meantime, Srinivasan confirmed Coinbase is still evaluating cryptocurrencies such as Cardano, Stellar Lumens, and Zcash, which may be rolled out globally or selectively depending on specific regulatory requirements. Yet aside from regulatory and technical considerations, the main listing criterion for Coinbase is market demand. Pay attention. He said, "We want to make sure that our customers are there." He said the big three questions are: is it legally compliant? Is it technically secure and innovative? And do our customers want it? I'm not sure what their game is. I'm not sure what the end goal is. But at this point, Coinbase has consistently lied, and it's gotten to the... I wish I had the power to actually do something against it. They've played a very good game, and eventually it's not going to really work out anymore for them. To give my opinion on exactly what's happening, Coinbase understands that their time at the top is probably at an end, and I don't mean that in a in a malicious manner. I mean more so, we've had so much news about other exchanges who are opening, and when you have news about 25 other exchanges who are hoping to supplant you and take your place, this is money that's going to be taken out of Coinbase's pockets. As far as them announcing that they are going to try and now rapidly list coins a lot quicker, I think this is something on their new blog post that they posted about listing new coins. It comes down to, if you realize, if you've ever used any other cryptocurrency exchange besides just Coinbase, it doesn't take years to list a new coin. It doesn't take months sometimes. Sometimes, multiple exchanges will announce that they're listing multiple coins at the exact same time. Coinbase understands that they have taken too long, and now they're trying to do whatever they can to desperately try and push themselves a bit further. when it comes down to the things that they've said before, and for what it's worth, some of it could have been genuine. I don't sit in their room as they're making rules or when they're trying to gather exactly what's going on. When you tell people one thing and then a week and a half later you tell them something else, and you continue to update your criteria for listing new coins, or take things away because you realize that it doesn't make a lot of sense and you were lying the entire time. When you tell people that you will list things that are legally compliant, that are technically secure, and if your customers want it, I don't know if you've ever had the chance to take a swing over to Coinbase's Twitter. On any given day, look at what the comments are, look at what people are asking for. If you have not, or if you do not have the time, I will tell you. Depending on what Coinbase says or what they're doing or what Coinbase announces, even they've even mentioned this before on I think it was CNBC or something like that. They were talking about, you know, what our customers want and what so-and-so wants. And we haven't added certain things because they may not be legally compliant. That is now clearly a lie, because we've had multiple other crypto exchanges in the States who have added XRP. A friend of mine was, he messaged me about a day or two ago, and he was asking me, has there been any news as far as Coinbase adding any new coins? And I said, as of now, it looks like they're talking about Cardano, they're talking about Stellar Lumens, they're talking about 0x, they're talking about BAT. And he was like, what are those coins? And I was like, I explained what those coins were to him. And he was like, why haven't they listed the third largest coin? And I said, that's a very good question, especially when they keep updating the criteria to list brand new coins. As far as legal compliance, Ripple is, and I'm going to get to that and during the rest of this video, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that's happening. Ripple, the team, is the most legally compliant coin that we have ever seen in the history of ever. When it comes to technically secure, in general, banks and organizations would not be accepting or using RippleNet and or XRapid if it was not secure. And do their customers want it? This was, for those who were here sometime last year, I mentioned that Coinbase, there were a lot of rumors about them listing XRP onto their platform. And they kept on stating, I think even at one point, I don't know if it was a tweet or if it was like a blog post or what, they said, we get it. They said, we understand that people want XRP on our platform, and we're looking into it. And I remember I wrote them an email. This was sometime around October or November. And I said, I'm a customer of yours. I have been a customer for quite some time. And I said, I want to know if you plan on adding XRP. You know, it seems a bit weird that you have listed other coins, but you have not listed the number 3 coin on the market. And they said, we are actually looking into it. Thank you very much for this. We actually appreciate your input and your time. We've heard from a lot of our customers that they want this, and we are actively looking to list it. This is why I said I don't know what the game is anymore. I don't understand the my thing still is, and I'm sure this is exactly how it's probably going to happen. When they do list other new coins, or if you actually read through this, they talk about how they want to streamline the process to make sure that they're adding other tokens as quick as possible. They're going to go over XRP, and I know they are. I don't see anything in 2018 where they're going to announce that they're going to be adding XRP, or even their intention to add XRP anytime soon. The main thing that I like about all of this is, after a certain point, your lies become so blatant that you can't run from them anymore. And I mean, when XRapid is finally activated, first of all, the market is doing well today. It's mainly because one coin is going up and the rest of the market is trying to follow it. When XRapid is activated and it passes by Ethereum, that's not an if. And when we start to get close to the market cap of Bitcoin and XRP has solidified itself as the number 2 coin in the market, I wonder what Coinbase's excuse is going to be, especially when Bittrex has announced that they are adding XRP. And I think Bittrex's office is right down the street from Coinbase. I'm not exactly sure what it is anymore. I want to say that it's market manipulation, but I think it's something more than that. Maybe there's something just going on behind the scenes that we are just unaware of. But I think it's very interesting when you are running a company who claims to, want to list as many assets as possible, especially things that people are wanting you to add that are very popular. Do our customers want it? Yes, they do. And this is not me talking negatively about any other project. I promise you, I am all for crypto, but I don't like contradictions and I don't like lies in the cryptocurrency space. If you are for listing as many assets as possible and you want to be able to have other people around the world have access to these coins as quick as possible, but you skip over the number 3 coin, you list the number 4 coin, you talk about adding number 6, you talk about adding number 9. Where is 0x on this list? Number 26. I mean, by the time XRapid gets activated, Coinbase is already irrelevant, and I think people will talk less about Coinbase. When XRP becomes the number 2 coin, once again, and solidifies itself there when XRapid is actually turned on, I have Coinbase is going to do whatever they can to not list XRP, but at that point, it won't even matter anymore. A lot of other crypto YouTubers have been posting, and I'm so glad that other people have been doing this as well. They've been posting like the math behind when XRapid actually gets turned on, and none of them have been astronomical. None of them have been like, we're going to have a $395 trillion 24-hour volume. They're talking about just the financial corridors that have been spoken about being opened, the ones that we know about between the Philippines and Mexico and other places, and the markets as far as XRP being listed as a base currency and this happening and so and so and so. The volume of XRP is going to, as of now, it's going to shatter what you see right here. And Coinbase making these announcements, first of all, is quite frustrating because like I told someone else, just get to it. I don't know what they're so afraid of when it comes to listing new coins. I'm not sure what the fear is. If you are going to list other assets, just list them. What is the problem? Why does everything take so long? Why has it taken 9 months to think about adding potentially 5 other coins? Just list them. When other exchanges are launching, they don't go, okay, we're just gonna list Bitcoin, and then okay, maybe in 11 months, maybe we'll list 3 more coins. We get it. You're popular. You're a major brand now. Just list the coins. No one's going to be upset at you. I mean, it's very frustrating what they're doing, but none of this will matter within the next couple of weeks. So buckle up because Coinbase can only lie for so long. Next up on the news, Circle has announced the addition of 4 new digital assets to the Circle Invest platform, bringing the total number of cryptocurrencies on the platform to 11. Announcing the news in a blog post, Circle revealed the new additions of EOS, Stellar, 0x, and QTUM. Circle further revealed that the 4 assets can be purchased through the Circle Invest platform, either individually or as part of a basket using the Buy the Market retail portfolio investment feature. These are, like I said, months ago, did anyone hear about anything called 0x? 0x saw such a huge pump in price when Coinbase spoke about them. Same exact thing with Stellar. I don't think that these 2 coins, and even QTUM. QTUM was also, people thought for quite some time that Coinbase was also going to list QTUM, as I think their decentralization platform, like what they do is, I think it's actually higher than Bitcoin. Like whatever QTUM is doing, they're doing it very well as far as decentralization. And it was assumed for quite some time that Coinbase would actually announce that they were going to list them, but they still have yet to do so. So this is why I think that these 4 coins more or less have been chosen, because people were also speculating on EOS being listed on Coinbase because of how the EOS platform was handed over to the 21 block producers, and therefore the original creator of it no longer touches it, as as far as like the actual code and stuff like that, and therefore the platform is also decentralized. So I don't think that these were random. I think these 2 especially have to do with hoping to ride on the back of Coinbase should they actually list these assets. According to Circle's blog post, the 4 crypto assets were chosen for listing based on their sustainability, which was determined by the Circle Asset Framework. CCN reported in June that under the Circle Asset Framework, each asset to be evaluated on its own strengths, and under no circumstances are any fees paid to aid listing. This helps to ensure the integrity of the process and gives customers the confidence that only the best assets are listed on Circle platforms. In order to help customers really appreciate the value of every asset on Circle Invest, the company also announced the introduction of a new feature called Explore. This feature will help users gain insight into crypto investment with contextual and relevant information on the various aspects of crypto. Circle hopes that this simplification tool alongside the user-friendly interface of Circle Invest will help it in its mission to make crypto trading to the mass market. There's a typo there. Not really gonna read any further. Pretty much what the rest of the article says is they talk about EOS's decentralization and Stellar being used around the world and 0x having this, and they kind of go into why Circle said they were going to be listing them. It all comes down to money. This is what it always is. Quick side note. Sorry if I sound a bit more down or melancholy, maybe is the word, during this video. No, I'm just, first of all, there's a lot of news out today, and I've been reading through all of it, obviously, and there's just a lot of crap going on in the news today. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's just the season. Maybe since autumn has started, it's now just the time to kind of throw a lot of things out there. But some of the news today is a little out there. Anyway, let's continue on. So Swell is the Ripple event, and this is happening on the 1st and 2nd of October, and I will tell you why this is incredibly significant. They talk about the price of XRP going up on the 1st and 2nd of October of this year. Ripple is hosting the Swell event in California, in San Francisco. The event is meant to connect the world's leading experts in policy, payments, and technology for a proactive dialogue in global payments today. One of the speakers is going to be Bill Clinton. What's important here is the Deputy General Counsel of the IMF, that is the International Monetary Fund, Ross Lekow, who will be attending the event. His attendance has not gone unnoticed by the XRP community, who believe that the IMF is slowly but surely warming up to cryptocurrencies, and I don't even think they're warming up to it. I think it is red hot. Someone said in a tweet, the Deputy General Counsel of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, will be attending Swell in 9 days. I'm not sure people realize how big that really is. For those who do not know what the International Monetary Fund is, it kind of sounds like exactly what it is. The International Monetary Fund is an organization of 189 countries. That's just about every country that we have on this planet, working to foster global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and reduce poverty around the world. Created in 1945, the IMF is governed by and accountable to the 189 countries that make up its near global membership. To put it a lot simpler, they control the monetary policies of the world. When things happen, they usually or typically have a say in how things will go. When people are talking about adding a new currency to something or having a currency be not the world currency or things that flow through it, it's typically because of their policies that we have the economy that we do right now, more or less. Whenever things are adopted, whenever things have to switch, whenever there's like a paradigm shift of some sort and things have to change, it is typically the IMF who make sure that this happens. And I told you guys before, I said I think it's very interesting. Not only Ripple as a company and XRP as a token, they're around 4.5, maybe 5 years old. I said, doesn't anyone think it's very weird that within the last 4 to 5 years, a company that has XRP has been able to partner with 50 central banks and at least 35 countries at this point? And I know some people definitely get it. I understand, you know, I know you have ears and brains. I definitely get it. But to understand the actual weight of all of this, whenever there is some type of an event, whenever there is, it's not called Ethereum Con, like I think it's called DevCon or something like that. Whenever the other coins have some type of an event, typically we know exactly like the roster of people who are going to be there. And nearly every time that Ripple has some type of an event, it's someone in the audience or someone who's going to be a speaker who creates economic policies around the world. So when you click around very easily, you can actually, the person who runs the IMF is actually this woman. Her name is Christine Lagarde, if I'm not mistaken. Christine, Christine, and then Lagarde, Lagarde. You can type in Christine Lagarde, IMF, and then Ripple in Google, and you'll receive a bajillion and one reports. When the International Monetary, so first of all, the International Monetary Fund has not only spoken about Ripple constantly, But if you look at old news clips, I'm pretty sure you can find them on YouTube as well. They talk incredibly positively about Ripple and XRP, and they always make sure to notice, and it's something almost like not hypnotic, but you know, like if you repeat something enough, it kind of sticks in your head. They constantly repeat that they don't see Bitcoin as a unit of exchange. It's simply to this, it's simply to that. But we have been looking into Ripple, and Ripple seems to be this. And I thought the first time that I heard that, I said, okay, that seems pretty promising. But when you announce that multiple times over and over during different conferences, and you're constantly with the Ripple and XRP team, it's just a bit more obvious. I'm trying to find, yeah, here we go. This was actually said by her. Said, in Lagarde's opinions, cryptocurrencies would be ideal in the future when it could be easier to use virtual currencies for payments, especially in remote areas where fiat currency could be hard to get physically. She said, why would citizens hold onto virtual currencies rather than physical dollars, physical euros, or physical sterlings? Because it may one day be more comfortable and safer than obtaining paper bills, especially in remote regions, and because virtual currencies could actually become more stable. This was said by Christine Lagarde. This is also something else. It said, practically, Christine's Lagarde's statement are bullish on XRP, the Ripple token, which is fundamental for Ripple's platforms that allow fast, blah, 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 so and so and so. She said, citizens may one day prefer virtual currencies since they potentially offer the same cost and conveniences as there could be no cash, no settlement risks, no clearing delays, no central registration, no intermediary to check accounts and identities, end quote. She's spoken many times. And I would have played a video, but I think I get like copyright strikes or something like that against my channel if I do that. Where she said on camera, she said, we've actually looked into Ripple. And I mean, the only way to make it more obvious is to have someone from the IMF actually being at the Ripple event. There's some, I can't remember the channel's name for the life of me. Someone made a video, and it was like a compilation of clips of people in the financial world talking about cryptocurrencies, and specifically talking about the need for a stable world, not currency, but like a payment method that everyone could agree on. It comes down to we have cryptocurrencies, and decentralized cryptocurrencies and distributed ledger technology is important because of trust. We're all adults. We understand that we cannot trust everyone. We cannot trust everything. And this is even more so when it comes down to governments. And one of the constant arguments that was made by a lot of the people from the IMF when they were talking about cryptocurrencies, especially XRP, is that they kept on mentioning that we need something that will allow countries to not have to trust each other, but all the information will be there. Payments will be sent rapidly in a couple of seconds. And it comes down to if the IMF is in some way partnered with Ripple, and they go to their events as key speakers, and sorry, my brain is just all jumbled. It's just a lot going on. The idea is that XRP will be the currency that all banks are using around the world eventually, that it'll be the only way, or one of the quickest ways, for banks and institutions to be able to trade and buy and sell between each other without having to trust anyone, because all the information is already on directly on the platform. And this kind of ties in as well to the 50 central banks partnership and all the other partnerships that they've been getting. I wouldn't expect any major news from Swell. Last time that we had the Swell event, I believe it was the first time that we actually had it as well. This has to be the second year that they're having it. The XRP price went up in anticipation for something incredibly amazing. We just ended up getting like a lot of speeches and stuff like that that go over people's heads, because they want announcements. They want like, we're going to hit $25 this year. They want like something that has to do with price increases, and they're not understanding that world governments are going to now be at these events that are hosted by Ripple, talking on panels and discussing monetary policies with the rest of the world. Why would you be at an event for Ripple talking about the future of payments on a panel with the people from Ripple and XRP unless you are already deep in the crypto? I don't even know how to really end that phrase. The point is, don't expect any major announcements. I'm expecting, I'm actually, first of all, it's not going to be live streamed, but they're going to record it so that we can watch it after. I'm definitely going to watch it, because you have to always listen to how these people talk and what they say. As of now, in my head, at least me, Ripple and XRP are solidified as the next crypto. Like, these are the things that are already there. If you don't think that a cryptocurrency and a cryptocurrency company and a cryptocurrency project that has over 200 partners, multiple banking partners, that are attached to 50 different central banks around the world, that have offices around the world and different countries where crypto has been banned and they have received special treatment. And I really don't know what to tell you anymore, but this is all leading up to something. So I expect some good news from Swell as part, maybe even like some slight partnerships and stuff like that, but don't expect anything astronomical like them even talking about XRapid being turned on and stuff like that. That's just speculation. And whenever we do get XRapid being turned on, I don't think it would be at an event like Swell. That's just kind of how I feel about it. So Mt. Gox is also in the news. Bitcoin investors who dutifully monitored cryptocurrency wallets associated with defunct Bitcoin exchange Mt. Gox for early warnings of a possible sell-off have been proven justified in their paranoia. According to a document published on the Mt. Gox website, Nobuaki Kobayashi, the exchange operator's trustee, sold approximately 24,600 Bitcoin and 25,300 Bitcoin Cash between the last creditors meeting on March 7th and June 22nd, court ruling allowing the estate to exit bankruptcy and enter civil rehabilitation. Altogether, the estate garnered just under 26 billion Japanese yen, worth more than $230 million, recouping an average of about $8,100 per Bitcoin and $1,190 per Bitcoin Cash, compared to their unit current values of whatever, not really important. Kobayashi said that the purpose of the sale was to secure interests of all bankruptcy creditors, which was required before the estate could enter civil rehabilitation. He said, due to the sale, the bankruptcy trustee has already secured a suitable amount of money to secure the interests that are expected to have obtained by Bitcoin creditors under the bankruptcy proceedings in connection with Bitcoin claims to be treated as non-monetary claims under the civil rehabilitation process. Accordingly, the bankruptcy trustee has determined that the interest expected to have already been attained in the bankruptcy, not really that important at all as I'm reading it. People were saying for a couple of months now, we had a lot of news as to why the Bitcoin price had been dropping. And what it comes down to is that people a couple of months were saying that they saw the movement of, for those who don't know, people pretty much know not who is holding some of the largest wallets out there, but it's, after a while you can kind of place names to wallets and stuff like that. And people had figured out which wallets were associated with Mt. Gox. And they were saying that they saw these funds constantly moving back and forth. And they were saying that these funds were then deposited onto cryptocurrency exchanges and that these things were being sold off. People kept on saying, that's a lie. They would never do that, so and so and so. And then we had news about a month ago that the Japanese courts had said that they were finally going to start allowing people who had lost their money in Mt. Gox to be able to receive their funds back if you went through the bank, the court or something like that, and filled out like paperwork and stuff. I lost my money. I need my money back. And you could prove that you actually had an account on Mt. Gox. The long story short is that people were saying that the sell-off that we had was not because of Mt. Gox. The liquidity in the market since January, since we hit this point, has been abysmal. We have had almost no liquidity, not even just in other cryptocurrencies, but in Bitcoin in particular. It has been absolutely horrible. So remember I told you about a week and a half ago, there was like a news article that someone had sold, or no, someone had moved, I think like 10,000 Bitcoin from like another wallet to another wallet, and Bitcoin's price fell by like 8%. So not only has he already sold off Bitcoin, like people had said that he did, and people said that no, they were just paranoid. There's no way that he had already sold it off. But we also know that the trustee holds as like an additional, what is it, like 80,000 Bitcoin or something like that. It's a huge astronomical number. And odds are, if he is not going to sell it off to be able to get cash, to be able to pay these people back, it's expected that when these people do actually have the Bitcoin in their hands, that they're simply going to sell it off. Like I told you guys before, when the entire Mt. Gox thing happened, Bitcoin was around like $12, $15, something like that. Like there were certain days when Bitcoin's price, I think, would like hit $20, and then they had like a market crash and Bitcoin would drop back down to $2, and everyone kind of lost their minds. Bitcoin's dead. Bitcoin is over. So when these people finally do get their Bitcoin back and they're able to sell them even for $6,000 a coin, it's expected that Bitcoin's price once again will completely, this is at least mathematically, collapse. If you have a situation where 24,000 Bitcoin were sold over the course of multiple months and this caused the prices to drag down, what happens when 80,000 Bitcoin then start to flood the market? This also leads us to an interesting time frame where we have, because this is supposed to happen apparently, I think in April or May or June of next year. This is when I think the Japanese court has said that they're going to have like the final, not the final say, but like the finality of everything is supposed to start happening. When XRapid is activated, should Ethereum have something else on the market? The point I'm trying to make is if every other coin has begun to decouple from Bitcoin's price, especially as we add more fiat pairings and crypto pairings to these other cryptocurrencies, what would happen if XRapid is active in mid-2019 and a major Bitcoin sell-off ends up happening without proper liquidity that we don't even have right now inside of the market? So all quite interesting. I guess it's all speculation. I mean, it is speculation. No one knows exactly what's going to happen in the future. But I've noticed a lot of other people talking about similar things as well on their cryptocurrency channels. They're talking about Ethereum and XRP being like the new 1 and 2 coins. There's been for some reason, and I'm not still sure, I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm looking for news as to why there's been a shift against Bitcoin. I don't exactly know why, but as of now, there seems to be an uptick, at least for these 2 coins, especially with Ethereum Classic as well. You may have also noticed an uptick in news as far as like EOS, Stellar, Cardano, and what's the other one? Not 0x. There's another one somewhere around here. I can't remember exactly what the name is. Anyway, let's move on. So, Bakkt is once again in the news. In a major Twitter announcement, the team at the highly anticipated Wall Street firm of Bakkt informed the crypto and investing community of its first physically settled Bitcoin futures contracts. In the tweet, the team at Bakkt said, "Our first contracts will be physically delivered Bitcoin futures contracts versus fiat currencies, including US dollar, British pounds, and euro. For example, buying one USD BTC futures contract will result in daily delivery of 1 Bitcoin into the customer's account." In early August this year, the Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, the owners of the New York Stock Exchange, partnered with Microsoft, Starbucks, BCG, and others to launch Bakkt. The firm is building an open, seamless global network to enable investors, merchants, and consumers to buy, sell, store, and spend digital assets in a simple, more efficient, and secure manner. The latter fact of securely storing digital assets has been put forth as one of the reasons the SEC might approve a Bitcoin ETF in the near future. Backed by ICE, Bakkt slowly solves the problem of custody services for large-scale institutional investors. Lack of a major exchange providing custody services has been put forth as the SEC might delay the blah, 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 which it definitely did. When it comes down to who is going to get approved, a lot of people still think that the CBOE is going to be approved for a Bitcoin ETF. My money, at least right now, is probably on the New York Stock Exchange. I feel like the New York Stock Exchange has a much easier time getting a Bitcoin futures contract, which they're going to have, and a Bitcoin ETF launched on their platform as they are the New York Stock Exchange. No one knows what's going to happen. It's still, people still are saying that they think that the CBOE Bitcoin ETF will be launched, or they will be allowed to the CBOE in February of next year. I wouldn't be shocked if by November, when this is all, everything right here is supposed to launch, if we have some type of news that once this has launched that they have also been approved for a Bitcoin ETF as well. Would not be shocked. It's good to hear that we finally have some type of news as to exactly what's going to happen with the Bitcoin futures. I assume this is also going to be the same exact thing. This is another thing that I actually just put the puzzle together in my head. When it comes down to the relevance of Coinbase and them taking so long, I think they're understanding that they took too long. I don't know what their game was or why they thought it was appropriate to wait so long to not only list new assets. You know, first of all, when it comes to like closed meetings and stuff like that, they've been talking about this for months, and they know that I can assume. Remember, we had a month ago, they said that they planned on adding custody for 30 other cryptocurrency assets, but none of these were, they didn't know if these were going to be listed onto the platform. In closed meeting meetings, I'm pretty sure that they've been discussing adding multiple other cryptocurrencies as well. When the New York Stock Exchange launches their own crypto exchange and is also going to allow people to buy, sell, and store crypto assets with them, I think Coinbase may be obliterated. And I don't mean, like, that's not meant to be malicious, but they've waited for far too long. I don't understand what the problem is. I'm going to, I think I'm interested in seeing exactly what the cryptocurrency space is going to look like in the middle of November. I think it's like the 17th of November when they said they were going to launch this. Don't quote me on that date. But if they are, first of all, it's the New York Stock Exchange. I was going to say if they're as big as they say they are, it's the New York Stock Exchange. Them getting into crypto at all is absolutely insane. The fact that more people haven't realized the significance of the New York Stock Exchange getting into crypto and the fact that prices haven't moved is also very insane, as it were. But yeah, anyway, we finally have news about how this is going to happen. So this is very good. Let's see if we end up getting these new all-time highs because of the stock exchange getting into the cryptocurrency space. All right, everyone. That is definitely going to do it for this video. Hope you all have a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Thank you once again for watching and or listening. Once again, I'm sorry if I sound a little down. I'm not at all. I'm actually quite happy. It's just a lot of stuff that's been happening and other things that I've been reading and a lot of other websites where I get my news from. I might stop using them simply because when this happens, they keep posting articles like pump and dump, and this is going so and so and so, and it's like, will XRapid actually work? Like, can XRapid do so and so? And then it's like, XRP close to taking over Ethereum, but Ethereum will triumph. And it's like, why? If you're into crypto and into the cryptocurrency space, I don't understand being hyper tribal just to one coin. It makes you, my opinion, it makes you kind of look ridiculous. If you're into crypto, you should be into all of crypto. If one project is doing better than the other, you should be patting everyone else on the back and saying that's really cool. I'll definitely look into that project as well. Don't write hateful comments or hateful articles simply because you didn't get into XRP early enough or you feel like that it's not going to do anything. Only time will tell, and that's kind of, I guess, where it is. Once again, I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all having a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon. See you.